Now, with certain players in history becoming legendary, some notable names even have unbreakable records that you won't believe. Now, with Adrian Peterson being drafted on April 28th of 2007 by the Minnesota Vikings, just 6 months after being drafted, he set an NFL record that still to this day hasn't been broken. On November 4th of 2007, Adrian rushed for 296 yards in a game against the Chargers, which was a new record after the Ravens' Jamal Lewis had 295 4 years earlier. But during this game, Peterson was held to less than 50 yards and over 10 rushing attempts in the first half, but AP came out of halftime on fire, and he racked up the other 250 yards in the second half. AP even talked about this ridiculous game when he said, "That first half could have easily been 150 yards, but I remember coming in halftime, talking to the guys and telling them, hey, it's almost there. Let's keep pressing, keep pressing, keep pressing. We're going to hit these guys. We're going to go hit these guys." I can't sit here and tell you that I was going to be 250 some yards in the second half, but that's just how it ended up happening. With 1 minute and 4 seconds left on the clock, AP took a handoff which gained him exactly 3 yards, how much he needed to pass the record by a single yard. Peterson talked afterward and said, "I had no idea I was that close to the record. I'm not going to lie to you. I look back and think, man, I could have been the first guy to go over 300. At the end of the day, it wasn't meant to happen, but I'll say this. If I get close to 296 or 300 again, I'll be asking for it next time." There's definitely no doubt that throughout Devin Hester's career, he cemented himself as the best return man the NFL had ever seen, and in high school, he said he even looked up to Deion Sanders and wanted to break a few records that he held. But Hester's kick return ability came full circle when in his first 13 weeks as a professional football player, Hester recorded 6 return touchdowns, including a punt return in his NFL debut, and then a 108-yard touchdown from a missed field goal against the New York Giants. He also returned a punt from a clutch 83-yard game-winning touchdown against the Arizona Cardinals to give the Bears the lead in a comeback win, and even 2 kickoff returns in one game against the St. Louis Rams. Interestingly enough, in Super Bowl 48 against the Colts, Devin started the game on a high note for the Bears, returning the game's opening kick for a touchdown, and it was the first touchdown return of an opening kickoff in Super Bowl history, and also marked the quickest touchdown scored in Super Bowl history. And after this, the Colts refused to kick to him throughout the game, but throughout his career, he actually broke one of Deion Sanders' records, where Devin went for 19 career returns of touchdowns with 14 punts, 5 kickoff returns, and 1 missed field goal attempt that he ran all the way back. Hester actually spoke about his record-breaking returns when he said, "Just coming out of college, coaches told me I wasn't going to be nothing but a kickoff and punt returner. I wanted to earn a position in the league. But I'm here today to say I am a kickoff and punt returner, but at the same time, I'm the best that ever do it. We're not going to stop on this one return. It's going to be plenty more. So don't dwell on the record breaker. There's going to be a lot more, I guarantee you that." And former Bears special teams coordinator Dave Taub spoke about Hester's legacy, and he said, "He changed the game. People talk about the guys who are in the Hall of Fame and guys who have changed the game of football, and he's done that. They were talking about changing the rules on the punt because of him, and now everybody has a returner. Everybody knows how important it is. He opened up the door for returners." Now, it's definitely no doubt that Brett Favre has had a truly legendary career, having MVP seasons and winning a ring with the Packers, but he's also set ridiculous records that may never be broken. On September 27th, 1992, Favre started in a game with the Packers, which would begin a ridiculous consecutive start streak of 321 games. The streak of consecutive starts stretched over many years and even continued despite him switching teams twice. Before Favre, the record was 116 games in a row, which is a whole 11 seasons shorter than Favre's, and Peyton Manning has come the closest to Favre's mark, starting 227 consecutive games from 1998 through 2011, but still fell 6 seasons short of Favre's mark. Now, Brett Favre's record ended on December 5th, 2010 due to numbness in all 5 of his fingers on his throwing hand, but this remains one of the craziest and unbreakable records in the history of the NFL. Ron Jaworski, who had the previous record of 116 games played in a row before Favre, spoke about the record and said, "I knew when my streak ended, it was because of a broken leg. I knew it was over," which is kind of interesting following Brett this week. Now that we know it's over, we can kind of look back on it and marvel. I don't know if I can even put words on it. Even Cal Ripken, who's one of baseball's best players ever, congratulated Favre in the streak when he said, "Brett had an incredible career, and his consecutive game streak is remarkable. As a football fan, I can't fathom his accomplishment, and I appreciate his dedication to and passion for the game. He's a true gamer, and he provided us all with a lot of wonderful memories." And after Brett Favre had to end his record, he looked back on it and he said, "It's been a great run. I'll not hang my head one bit because it ended today. I think about as a kid, goals and dreams, I far exceeded all those. I never dreamed of playing in 300 plus straight games, including playoffs. I dreamed of playing in the NFL." Now, with Tom Brady being often considered one of the greatest quarterbacks in history, it's mainly because of how many NFL records he set in his 19-year career. But one of the most notable ones has to be in winning 6 times in the Super Bowl. In just his second season, Brady led the Patriots to the Super Bowl against the Rams, which they won 20-17, giving Brady what would be his first of many. After not making it to the Super Bowl in 2003, the Patriots went back-to-back in 2004 and 2005, beating the Panthers 32-29 in 2004 and beating the Eagles 24-21 in 2005, which gave Brady his 3rd ring in 5 years. Brady and the Patriots had good seasons in 2006 and 2007, but missed the Super Bowl until 2008 when they eventually did make it to the big game, but lost to the Giants 17-14. And during the Giants game-winning drive, David Tyree made the famous helmet catch of the third down, a leaping one-handed catch, pinning the football with his right hand to the crown of his helmet for a 32-yard first down conversion. The Patriots didn't make it to the Super Bowl again until the 2012 season when they lost to the Giants 21-17. But in 2015, the Patriots beat the Seahawks 28-24 after a memorable goal line play where Russell Wilson threw an interception in the end zone, and after missing the Super Bowl of 2016, the Pats came back strong, beating the Falcons 34-28 on the biggest comeback in Super Bowl history in 2017. After being down 28-3, many felt like this moment cemented Brady's legacy forever. This game also helped Brady tie Charlie Haley's record of 5 rings total, most by a player, and after learning that Brady had tied his record with the comeback win over the Falcons, Haley spoke about the record saying, "I believe records are made to be broken. I'm gonna hug Tom Brady's neck regardless because you know what? He's been there 9 times. Whether he wins 6 or stays at 5, he's a great player." He even tweeted out, "Congrats to Tom Brady. Welcome to the 5 times club. Now go get that 6th one." In the following year, the Eagles came out and shocked the Patriots, beating them 41-33. But in the most recent Super Bowl, the Patriots beat the Rams 13-3, giving Brady his 6th ring and set the record. Now, many athletes around the world even showed appreciation toward Brady's most recent championship, including LeBron James calling Brady the GOAT on Twitter, along with a lot of other people congratulating his accomplishments. Back in 2006, LaDainian Tomlinson had a season that many refer to as the best year ever by a running back in the NFL. During that 2006 year, he scored a record 31 touchdowns with 28 rushing and 3 receiving, scoring a total of 186 points by himself, which beat the previous record of 176 points. And after the 2006 season, many coaches and players from the Chargers team spoke about LT and his dominance, with his running back coach even saying, "The year before he scored 31 touchdowns, I remember running 40 power 21 times in a row to beat the Raiders. That was a companion play, but without the heavy personnel in it. We called that play 21 times in a row. We just used different personnel groups so they couldn't stop it." I just remember that so vividly because it's so unheard of to call the same play 21 times in a row. But we did it because they knew it was coming and still couldn't stop LT. Antonio Gates even spoke about LT's crazy season, saying, "It was crazy. I'd look up and there he'd go, busting a big one. Then you'd realize, wait, he's at 4 today? He had a game where he scored more touchdowns in the game than some people do all season." And then you'd hear the fans. It didn't matter. You could put 8 in the box and you still couldn't stop him. We'd say, "Leave a man for LT and he'll make him miss." And he did it over and over again. That's why he was special. You just knew he was going to take over. Now I look back on it and realize just how crazy it is. But in that moment to us, he was just having a good year. We were winning games. We were focused on getting that next win. We weren't expecting records, and then we'd look up and realize what he did. It took us a bit by surprise. We weren't giving him the ball to get those records. We were giving it to him to win the game, and he did. That's just how it all unfolded. LT spoke about the season saying, "That was a great season, but I think the ability to score touchdowns is probably what people remember most about me. I was the fastest to score 100 touchdowns in the NFL. That's how you win the game, by scoring." That's what I think people will think of when they think of LT, that he could just do it in all terms of catching it, running it, throwing it, but more than that, he could just score, period. Now in the second year of Willie Anderson's career in the league, he had the game of his career and set an NFL record that'll probably never be broken when he caught 15 passes for 336 yards in a single game. In week 12 of the 1989 NFL season, in a game between the Rams and the Saints, Willie Anderson was targeted 15 times and caught every single pass, leading to him racking up an NFL record 336 yards, which beat the previous record of 309. Willie's quarterback at the time spoke about his performance and said, "Those weren't short, easy passes. He was going up in traffic, pulling him down and beating the corner. He had a special night." The record's held for decades, and there's only one person that's come close to beating this record since, which was Calvin Johnson, who caught 14 passes for 329 yards and 2 touchdowns against the Cowboys in 2013. Willie Anderson's son, who also played in the NFL, actually spoke about Calvin Johnson coming close to beating his father's record when he said, "I've never rooted for the Cowboys in my life, but I pray they hold down the Megatron for those last 2 minutes. I thought it was going down. Thankfully it didn't." And last but definitely not least, the legendary Drew Brees has no doubt been a staple of the Saints organization for years now, and even led the Saints to winning the Super Bowl just a year after Hurricane Katrina devastated New Orleans. But with that, Brees holds a select few passing records that he still continued to work on year after year, and he's also on a small group of people who've scored 7 touchdowns in a single game. Brees spoke about his performance that day and he said, "It's not like I came out today with the intent to break a few records just to shut people up, but I think our mindset is every time we step on the field, we have the opportunity to do something special. I'll say that. Never been a part of something like that. It's pretty wild." The first person that threw for 7 touchdowns in a game was Sid Luckman, who did so in 1943 as a member of the Bears, and a few have done it since, but the most recent 7-touchdown game came from Brees in 2015 and a 52-49 win over the Giants. Another notable name includes Peyton Manning, who did it in 2013 and a 49-27 win over the Ravens, and then just 2 months later, Nick Foles did it in a 49-20 win over the Raiders. But Drew Brees also holds the record for most consecutive games with a touchdown, as well as the record for most pass completions in a single season. In 2018, Drew Brees went and broke the record for NFL all-time passing yards as well. Brees actually came into the game 3rd place on the list, where he was trailing Brett Favre at 2nd, who was at 71,838 yards, and Peyton Manning, who's at the top with 71,940 yards. But in a 43-19 win over the Redskins, Brees passed Favre on a 1-yard touchdown pass to Josh Hill, and then exceeded Manning's record with a 62-yard catch-and-run touchdown by Traquan Smith. After Brees broke the legendary record that was held by Peyton Manning, many players in the league today and legends of the past show their admiration of Drew on Twitter, congratulating his remarkable run in the league and the incredible legacy he's still creating for the present day. Drew even decided he wanted to do something cool for every person that was on the Saints and the Chargers that contributed to him breaking the record, so Brees sent out a personalized football as well as a handwritten letter to 174 different people, and Brees talked about it afterwards, saying, "Then I started thinking, well, it's not just the receivers, it's the guys blocking, so it's like, alright, let's find every offensive lineman that ever started a game," so we did that. Then I started thinking about coaches, then I started thinking about other people as well, so it was actually a long list, but I wanted to do that for them. Hey yo bro, click this video. Seriously dude, this is a fire video, 10 out of 10 entertainment. Have you seen the Avengers Endgame? This is like that, it's on a whole other level. Seriously, just click it.